And into the couch on Sunday. I had a gray suit on. Gray, and then what did I have on?
What were those kicks?
Friday.
Oh, hey there.
Well, those are from Columbia.
What are those?
Festus Ezeli. Gosh, I can't get into my phone right now. I locked myself out. Festus Ezeli, long story. So there's this, they're from Columbia. Festus went to Columbia. He bought the whole staff, some Kareth, Monty, Mully. Okay. He bought us all shoes from Columbia, and it's for a cause for women. I think single women out there in Columbia. I could be wrong, called Donum. 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 So it's for a great cause. So I wanted to rock them then. Suede on them. They're really nice, really comfortable. So those are a really good cause. So I had those on Sunday.
Yeah, they look sharp.
Yeah, I was trying. By the way, you ever been to the golf spot? Pleasant Hill?
No.
714 Contra Costa Boulevard.
What is the golf spot?
Oh, my God. It's the golf spot. It's more of a golf sanctuary. It's a golfer's dream, Shasky.
Why do you? Is it a simulation thing?
It's the Bay Area's newest indoor state-of-the-art golf facility with coaching and technology.
Really?
Designed to improve your game. And it's now available for in-person lessons, hitting sessions, fittings, private events. Whether you're new to the game or been playing your whole life, the golf spot is the perfect place to take your game to the next level. Oh. And they're inviting space for golfers at any level, Shasky. I'm telling you, any freaking level. A great place to start if you're looking to take your kids, your family, get back to the basics and have some fun. And check this out. They feature two TrackMan virtual hitting bays, a 25-foot putting green, camera support to analyze and improve your swing or shave a few strokes off your game year-round. This spot has a virtual driving range, games, and over 100-plus courses, including Pebble Beach, Spyglass, Rio 2016 Olympic course. The golf spot has PJ-certified coaches, and it's a judgment-free zone. They're not going to judge you if you drive one into the rough, Shasky?
Well,
or not?
I'm looking at it right now, and I mean, having a TrackMan basically gives you all of the different swing analysis that you need, all the analytics behind it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm seeing that you can buy a punch card, you can become a member. Wow, I got to check this out.
Yeah, so they'll book a lesson or reserve a time there. Go to golfspotba.com. Golfspotba.com. Shout out to Christian up there. Really good people. I'm going up there next week, man. Pleasant Hill, Contra Costa Boulevard. All right. We had Ramona Shelburne on the line. ESPN. She does a great job. Knows the NBA inside and out. We love having Ramona on the morning roast. Good morning, Ramona. Welcome back to 95.7 The Game. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. And let's just start with these great playoff games. We'll start with last night. Jimmy Buckets going over 50. And, of course, the Lakers surviving in overtime to take a 3-1 lead over the Memphis Grizzlies. Look, we have no idea who's going to win the championship this year. The seedings are all over the place. But I think so far these playoffs have been on fire.
I mean, I just went to both those games, right? I went to the game 4 in up in San Francisco and then game 4 in LA, and I'm like tired. Like, and they're watching. Right? Like, they were amazing. And it was fun too, because we get to watch the Heat game in the press room before the Lakers game started. You should have heard the press room erupt, like watching the end of that Heat game, and people were just in disbelief at what Jimmy Butler did. And like every text message I got for the next 2 hours was like, Jimmy buckets. Like I honestly, like I still think Milwaukee. I know I'm crazy, but I still think Milwaukee might come back and win in 7.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I still think they might. Like, I just can't believe they're going to go out like this, but they put themselves in a bad spot.
They have, and I mean, if they lose this series, you got to think there's going to be a lot of questions in the offseason about Milwaukee and what they can do, just like the LA Clippers if they bow out tonight against the Phoenix Suns as Kawhi Leonard's out, Paul George out. But let's go back to Game 4 with the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green comes off the bench. That was a topic of conversation here in the Bay Area after the Warriors won Game 3, a wire-to-wire win over the Kings, and the spacing looked good. The ball movement was there. Looney had a spectacular game with 20 rebounds and 9 assists, and Draymond comes off the bench. Did you think that was possible for Game number 4, Ramona?
You know, I didn't know that they were talking about it internally. Like, I think in Warriors circles, because I'd been on the Suns Clippers series, right? So I was kind of locked into that series. So I watched the game, and then I kind of pivoted into Game 3. And so I got up there, and I remember Anthony Slater was asking questions about it pregame, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." Like, I think he had an inkling that was going to happen, and it was interesting to see them do that, because the Warriors have done that over the years, right? Mm-hmm. I go all the way back to 2015 finals when they just decide, you know what? we're going to play Iguodala in the starting lineup. We're gonna take Bogut out and just go super small. I mean, the Warriors have kind of made these chess piece kind of moves in playoff series over the course of their time there. I mean, as much as we think we know the Warriors' style of play and you kind of know the main guys, like, they've actually been pretty adaptable throughout the playoffs. Like, that's why they won so much, because you have to be able to do this during the playoffs and make these kind of adjustments and also not lose your style of play. Now, I don't know what they're going to do for Game 5. There's an argument to be made. You should still just go back to that two big lineup. It's not necessarily like, I thought Draymond's defense on Fox was really important. I don't know if you can do that for a whole game, because if you do that, Mike Brown's going to put in some different actions to counter that. But and we also have to see how Fox is with that broken finger. I think Fox is going to play. I know they listed as doubtful. Yeah. Probably not trying to put any pressure on him, but I know De'Aaron pretty well. Mm-hmm. That guy's going to try to play. Yeah. So it's just a question of how well he can play with that, and we'll just see him go right a lot. He's going to drive a lot. He's just going to try to finish with his right hand all the time, and like maybe it'll affect his outside shot, which means you crowd. You don't, or you sag off him a little bit, make it a little. You make it a little harder on him to drive because you're going to you don't believe he's going to shoot a three, but I wouldn't count that guy out at all, knowing him the way I do.
Do you think it's just coincidence, or is there some, deeper connection that, Draymond Green gets suspended and then Jordan Poole starts to play really well because he's inserted back into the lineup, in the starting lineup. They do it again in Game 4 in terms of having Jordan Poole start. You think that's just coincidence or something that they should continue to try to trend with, because they're going to need Jordan Poole if they want to move on here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Steve Kerr's kind of played with that lineup all the time, right? That Jordan Poole with the starters. Mm-hmm. You've seen him do it a lot this year, because you can feel that that tension all year long of like, we need more shooting, we need more spacing. A too big lineup doesn't always work, but then they always kind of go back to the too big lineup, because ultimately coaches play the guys they trust the most, and the Warriors have been so inconsistent defensively. Really just between home and road. But when you have Looney and Draymond, it's not just that they're big; it's that they're such good defenders. And so, when you have a team that's built on defense, and you take one of your best defenders off the floor and put them take them out, it's kind of, you have to compensate somewhere. You saw De'Aaron torch him in the first half, right? Keegan Murray torched him in the first half. So I think they'll play with it. I do think they'll experiment with it. They'll give it a different look. So I think that's a permanent thing. No, but you watch them all the time. Like, it's kind of obvious Jordan Poole's eventually going to be a starter, right? I mean, you don't pay the guy like that who's got that much offensive talent with as much money as you're paying Jordan Poole to just come off the bench all the time. Right. The young player who wants to play. So whether it's this year, next year, 2 years from now, like, it's going to be a starter. It's just a question of who comes out of the lineup for him to start. Yeah. Just a push-pull of like, when are they going to make that move?
Yeah, or what happens in the offseason? Is Draymond out?
Yeah, exactly.
Klay Thompson has 1 year left on his deal, $43 million. What happens with him and the extension? There's so many moving parts here when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. Ramona, I know you got to run, so I'll leave you with this one here. After what you've seen through the first couple weekends of the playoffs, who do you have coming out the West? Who do you have coming out the East?
Man, my picks coming, and I'll put this out there. In the beginning of the year, I picked the Grizzlies and the Bucks. Not feeling so good about that Grizz pick right now. Okay, no. In fairness, I did not know Steven Adams and Brandon Clark were going to get hurt at that point. I kind of.
Lakers look good, Ramona. Lakers look good.
Lakers look pretty good. There's something about them I don't trust. Maybe it's you have to rely on D'Angelo Russell for such a prominent role. Maybe it's like LeBron, as good as he was last night. He was amazing last night. But he was exhausted. Like, I can't even describe how exhausted this man was when I saw him post game. So, like, there's a part of me like, can they really keep this up like the whole time? So I'll go back on the Warriors. I mean, like,
there you
go.
They're
the defending champs for a reason.
Hey, listen. Now you're welcome back to the Bay, Ramona. You're all good here now.
I know. I mean, I had Memphis and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I thought, well, this will be the year Memphis gets by, and they learned their lesson last year. Guys, I don't think they learned their lesson last year. how they played and how they've acted on and off the court this year.
No doubt. Yeah, I like Boston. I like the Warriors.
Yep.
I mean, I got to go with the home team here. I think Joe as well. But it's going to be fascinating to see if the Warriors do get past the Kings. A lot of work to do, though, man, especially if De'Aaron Fox plays. He's a tough customer. Ramona, we know you got to run, man, so take care. Thank you for the time today.
Thanks, boys. Okay, thanks, boys.
Anytime. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN, does a great job for them.